You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Okay, so as we all know, the Pi network is what I like to call an MMC, meaning a mobile mining cryptocurrency. Okay, it has been developed by a group of Stanford PhDs, and their intention was to make a versatile, easy to use cryptocurrency that can be used by the common man. And the reason why it was made a mobile mining app was because the cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum were very expensive for people that were joining in, and the risk to reward was way out of balance. So they brought up the idea to create a mobile mining cryptocurrency, and thus the birth of Pi was born. So I guess we all know this story and whatnot. So today, that's not what we're talking about. Well, as of today, you can even see my screen now. It says Pioneers, an early version of the Pioneer mainnet will be released later this month. This is proof that the mainnet is imminent. Okay, mainnet is imminent, and transactions and real transactions and the Pi you have been mining for so long will become useful. That is what the mainnet is. Mainnet is also the phase three of the Pi ecosystem. This is where transactions will be made. This is where um, sending and receiving of Pi will be made available. Real Pi, not test Pi. I'm sure a lot of you already know that there is a test net Pi where you can send test Pi. I think I should show you that right now. Let me show you what that is like. Um, okay. Um, Come on, where is it? Okay, Pi browser. Now this is like the test Pi network where you can send test Pi and all whatnot. But I want you to know that this is not real Pi. This is Pi that is used to test the blockchain and so on and so forth. Network is quite slow. Okay, all right. Now let me show you what this is all about. Okay, sorry, it's loading a little slowly. Let me mute this for a second. Um, yeah, I don't know why it stays. But anyways, this that is by the way, because I don't know why this is gets giving me time, but that is not important right now, anyways. So the point is the main net is going to launch, and all those facilities that you've heard will probably come true, especially the majority. Like there was a while ago where they introduced like Pi apps, like the decentralized apps. They would also be the equivalent called Pi apps, where people can stake their Pi to earn Pi and stake their what's it called? Use their Pi to order for goods and services. So that is what it is. That's what the phase two is all about. Now, I don't know if a lot of you would have heard about the lockup and verified balance and transferable balance and unverified balance. I'm going to explain all of that now. Now, um, okay, now, as you all know, as you all know, they especially those of you that have referrals in your Pi network, it's what they call the security pool, okay, where you all bring in, like, as long as all your referrals are online, you are able to mine at a higher rate. You're all able to mine at a higher rate. That is called security pool mining. It was a way made to verify and make real users available. Okay. Now, because of this, um verifiable balance, or because of that circle, you were all mining at a higher rate than you just mining by yourself. That way you got to earn more and you got to earn with your friends. But now there was a catch to all of this. Okay, there was a catch to this. Now, as you can see here, it shows your mainnet Pi balance preview. Although, like I said before, mainnet is not yet live, so you all should not get start sending your Pi to, or hear that somebody is buying Pi. You all should just wait for mainnet to launch. It's not very long from now. Now, like you can see here, unverified balance, transferable balance to mainnet, and wallet balance and lockup balance. I'm going to explain what all of that means. Now, like I said, in your security circle, where all of you were mining at a particular level, okay, where all of you were mining at a base amount, you, your friends, your brother, your sister, all of you were getting maybe mining pi at that time when it was $1, 1 pi per hour or 2 pi per hour. That was all. That was in the past, anyways. Now, those that all of that makes up your unverified balance. Now, what does that mean? You The Pi core team has made it clear that for you to be able to use the Pi that you have been mining, you have to pass what is called a KYC test. Now, this KYC test proves you and verifies you as a real Pi owner, and it aids to remove cheaters from the system, where a single person can own over 7 different Pi accounts, and then he's cheating the network by creating extra supply. Now, the use of the KYC is to curtail those cheaters and reduce supply cut off unnecessary supply. Now, like I said, when all of you were mining, all of your friends, your security circle were mining at a particular rate, they all aided in making your unverified balance. Now, that does not mean that that Pi you have earned is not going to be able to be yours anymore. That's not what it means. It means that until all those your members, every single one of them, are verified and have undergone KYC, then you would own all your Pi. Like, for example, now let's say you have, like, this guy has 12,898 Pi, right? Now, out of that 12,898 Pi, his transferable balance would be less than his unverified balance. That is, transferable balance is the amount from that security circle, the amount he was able to earn by himself. That's his own share of their security pool. What he was able to mine over the years, that is what he was able to mine. Now, this unverified balance shows that the amount that is left in a, should I say, in a lock, okay, where you now, the people that are in your security circle would have to verify for that unverified balance to become the transferable balance. Like you can see, unverified balance here is yellow and transferable balance to mainnet is purple, right? Can we see this?
Yes,
Are we following me, please?
sure.
Okay. Now, the unverified balance and the transferable balance will be of, obviously, everybody that is on Pi right now, can't you'll be able to see the difference, like the unverified balance and the transferable balance mainnet. It's all, you can all see your own and the amount of Pi you're able to transfer. Now, what transferable balance means is, now when mainnet launches, which is in the coming weeks, probably next week or 2 weeks time, when mainnet now launches, by the way, I have to inform you, mainnet is not launching all at once. It's going to come out in phases. Now, the first phase that will come out is the how is it called? It's the lockup and the transferable balance side. I'll explain all of that. I'll explain what is going to come out first. But now, this what transferable balance means, that I've explained that it is the amount that you in your security circle have earned by yourself. This is what you by yourself have earned. And when you are verified, you can now transfer the amount that is there, will now be able to be transferred to, the amount that was there is now going to be able to be transferred to the main net for transactions, for goods and services, paying goods and services, for whatever thing you want to use it for, or even for the lockup, it's going to be transferred there. Now, that's what your untransferable balance is. Like it says here, this amount is your transferable balance to mainnet after you pass KYC identification. The listed Pi amount is a close approximation. If you are KYC, the accurate amount will be transferred automatically. That's all. They'll give you the exact figure. Until mainnet launch, your transferable balance will only contain mined Pi by you, excluding bonuses. That's bonuses from your security circle. It's what you alone have mined that is going to be able to be transferred. It is now when all your members have been verified that you'll be able to own, like, let's say, your 10,000, your 8,000, your 5,000. That's when you'll be able to transfer all of that entirely to your main, to your main um to the main blockchain. Yeah. So that's what it's about. Now, like you have explained your transferable balance. Your wallet balance is just how much that is. It's not yet there. It's if you press it to show you coming soon. It's just how much that you have put in the mainnet. That's just what it means, yeah. But it's not yet open. And then the log balance. Now I'm going to explain what the log balance is. Now, this page you're looking at now on my screen shows it's okay. How do I put this? Shows how the lockup system is going to work. Now, I have to let you guys understand that lockup is not the same thing as staking. Okay, the usefulness of lockup is to reduce the number of um sellers when the market launches. Where the a lot of us that have been in the crypto space understand that once a crypto does launches and people are in profit, they start to sell up and dump on the coin, and the coin has to start struggling back up. If they do that, if pipe actually lets everybody sell off, the market will crash to zero and it will be very difficult to start picking back up. So although this is voluntary, it's advisable you do this. You lock up a percentage of your pie. Okay, you lock up a percentage for for like you see the we have for 2 weeks, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, and you lock up whatever parts you are comfortable with. Okay, you lock up whatever amount you're comfortable with. Like now, it shows you a mining boost. What it does, this is now the incentive it has behind it. Now, let's say out of your 12,000 pi, you decide to lock up, let's say 90%, for example. It gives you a boost rate. That is, it gives you times five, it gives you plus 500% of your investment of your lockup pi. Like it's by the time 3 years is done, you'll be earning 500% of whatever you locked up. That's the incentive behind it. Although you can reduce it to 1 year, 6 months, whatever you're comfortable with, it shows you the amount you're going to be able to like your profit ratio, what you're going to be able to get over the next 3 years, over the next 1 year, and so on. Like, for example, if you had used, I don't know, did I let me see. Don't have it. If you use 50%, the percentage down here, the one that's showing 550 will be less. Will be about 200. Will be about 100. Whatever amount it will be, it just shows you how much you're able to do. Now, like I told you, why this is necessary is so that the system does not crash on itself. We don't have a lot of sellers in the market. That is not very good for a market, and this helps the economy grow, where people will now be able to use more of their pie to do for goods and services, for um other, probably to buy NFTs and so on and so forth. The ecosystem is actually huge. What is coming for it is really huge and interesting. So that's what it's about. The lockup shows you the amount you're going to be able to lock up, and the percentage you're going to earn, and the time you're going to be able to lock up for. So first of all, this is going to be, like, I would advise all of us to go and pick the amount you're comfortable locking up and for how long. Okay, first of all, this is, I would advise that you don't lock up the whole 100%. Okay, I advise you don't lock up the whole 100%. You could lock up, I guess there'll be other ways to put in their percentage, exact percentage you want. Let's say for example, this 12,000, you want to lock up, let's say 8,000 or 9,000. Let's say everybody in your group has passed KYC. You want to lock up 5,000, whatever amount you feel like locking up. You lock it up for a year. I advise a year is not bad. Why? Because there's this dilemma cryptocurrency traders face. What if I lock it up now and the price does astronomical, and then it falls by the time I am ready to get my, by the time 3 years is over, or yeah, by the time 3 years is over. And also the question of, what if the price now dunks, like the price falls all this while, and then at the 3 year mark, it starts to pump really crazy, and you be now start crying to yourself, why didn't I look it up? I would have earned times five now, times 55, times 200, times 500 of my pie right now, that I've been chilling. Now, first of all, that is how crypto works. So welcome to cryptocurrency. And also, that's the reason why I would advise you not to keep it for that 3 years, is so that you can be able to interact with the system, the new economy that will be there. Like, for example, maybe there will be the NFT market that will be placed. You'll be able to buy some Pi NFTs that will be worth probably more in the future. And you'll not be, if you lock up 100% of your Pi, you'll not be able to participate in those features. Okay. You'll not be able to participate in all those features. So our advice, you lock up for a year, and let's say if you want 90%, fine. If you want 50%, that's good and fine. But anything above 50% is okay. Not 25 is too small. But everything above 50% for a year is not actually a bad way. That way you get to interact and make the ecosystem grow well and much better. Okay, are we following me, please? Okay,
Sure. Yeah, following.
okay. Do we have any question before I move on to the next parts?
If you have questions, you can indicate I'll unmute you so you can actually speak. If you have a question, you can ask. I think you have the floor now. If you before we continue. I think no one has a question, so you can
Okay, if we
continue.
don't have any question, I'm moving on to the next part. Now, remember when I said your your security circle earns, like, the members of a security circle are the ones that helped you mine whatever amount of pi you're seeing in your wallet right now. Now let me explain something to you. Now, for example, look at this issue now. You have um like you have for my own security circle, I have a friend of mine that holds the highest amount of my mine pi. Like, both of us were able to mine the bulk of my pi. Like, for example, his estimated transferable balance is high. That is, once he verifies, I'll be able to take the bulk of my pi and move it to the main net. Like, you see, Martins has holds a medium amount, Rufus holds a medium amount, and Praise, Smart, they now own little or less amount than the first five. So let's say one, two, one, two, three, four. The first five people, yeah, the first five people, they all hold less. So this way, this thing actually helps you know exactly who you need to get to verify first. Like, for example, if for like if the first three people on my the first two people on my security circle, if they, sorry, please excuse me, if they verify their KYC, I'll be much higher in my transferable balance.
Hello, sir. I think a quick
Hello.
question others can follow. Where could you see this your referral team and see this person? Maybe the same thing like you are saying.
Okay,
So
when you,
you
okay,
can meet
let me
them.
take you to the app itself. Let me take you to the app itself so that you can see where this all this is. Okay. Right, it's loading, it's loading, it's loading. All right. Okay, when you go to find out how this work, you could go to your, is it wallet balance. No, sorry. Is it this is what I was talking about? Like, for example, your wallet balance to show you the amount of transferable pi, like the amount of pi you can transfer once you have verified. This is the amount of the estimated amount you'll be able to transfer. Your unverified balance shows you how much you'll be able to, like, how much you'll be able to how much is left for verification. Like, once your security circle verifies, this is how much that will be sent to your transferable balance. Now, like that, the question that boss Emmanuel Jackson asked, this is where you come to your, let me start from the beginning. When you come to the main page, like where it shows your pi balance preview, you come to unverified balance and click on preview. This shows you everybody in your security circle and how much of your pi they hold. Yes, since how much of your pi is in their hands. So this shows you your top 10 contributors to the system. So this is where you can get it from. And you can see here, your unverified balance can become transferable to mainnet as people in the list below verify their KYCs. I hope it's self-explanatory. So once they verify their KYC, this amount, that this 9,242 pi, does not become unverified anymore. It's now verified transferable balance, where you can now transfer it to the mainnet and then lock up. Okay, this is now the amount you lock up for the estimated time, and you earn your profit. It's really simple. Once you lock up the amount of pi, this is where it comes to. It comes here, and then you can now lock up the amount you want. Here you can now configure exactly how much pi you want to do. Like this is what I was saying. Like if you want to lock up 50% for 3 years, you'll be earning plus 286% of your pi. Now the calculation is actually really complicated. It's actually high grade mathematics. I know a lot of you are very good at math. You can feel free to go and look at it, but I don't, it's really, if I want to start going into it, it will actually take a lot of time, and a lot of people won't understand. Even I had a difficult time trying to understand it. Now this way, it shows you how much of your pie. Like for example, you put it 50% um 1 year, you'll be earning 153. You put it for 6 months, you'll be earning 71%. By itself, this is already higher than what you would earn mining alone. So that's the incentive. You get higher of what you would have mined alone, and you're also helping this ecosystem grow. Okay, that is what it is. When you now pick exactly how much you want, you can now save it. Although there'll be another time where you'll be like the permanent, how do I put this, the right now it's not permanent. You can always configure it anytime, but once mainnet launches, it will become permanent. That whatever configuration you have set will be fixed until that time elapses. That is, if you had put 50% for 3 years, you will not be able to get 50% of your transferable pi until the 3 years elapses, and you are now able to get your percentage. So our advice, you take your time, be careful when you're doing it, and also pick what is February for you. Like I told you, it is wise not to put in the whole 100%, so that you'll be able to interact with the ecosystem and see what the Pi network is about. Because obviously the new system will be out where NFTs will be exchangeable, and I would advise you try when the NFT marketplace comes out. I would advise you buy as you buy the one that is important. You buy the NFTs that are there. There will be other goods and services that will be able to be traded in Pi marketplace. And also there is news on the Pi creating their own centralized exchange. This is still under the water information I'm giving all of you, but Pi is creating their own their own centralized exchange where um other cryptocurrencies can come and be traded on the Pi exchange. Okay. And also there's a lot of news. I remember there was a post that CZ posted a while ago where he does, I think he greeted the Pi ecosystem and what they were doing. And actually it makes a lot of sense if you look at it from the business point of view. When Pi launches, it just makes sense for any exchange to list them. Pi has over 29 million users on its network. And if, for example, now you come and say, okay, this Pi can now be traded on my exchange. Let's say Pi is being traded on Binance. Even if for every $10 somebody is exchanging on the Binance app or the Binance exchange, Binance will be earning so much money from just one economy. So it is actually a no-brainer to for like once the listing time comes, expect Pi to be listed on as many exchanges as possible because of its number of users in the blockchain. Pi has over 29 plus million people, and you would see it. And that's kind of volume equates to a lot of money. That is just 10 million people trading $1 worth of Pi would already give any exchange $1 million as profit. Would obviously give an exchange $1 million as profit. And imagine now 20 more than 50 million people trade. That is more than $1 billion as tradable 24-hour tradable volume. That is going to cause a lot of volatility in the market, and every exchange is there to make money, and they are going to be able want to get in on that action. So the whole idea behind it is actually really interesting. But there's also news that Pi would not really want to be listed immediately to avoid unnecessarily volatility. And it makes a lot of sense too, where sellers and buyers would, like, especially people that are selling, would be too much. So this all this aids in um building the ecosystem. Okay, so that is pretty much what this side is about. And also there's another thing I should mention. Like you can see here, you see 100% and you see 200%. Now, if you see 200%, they say after main launch, you can lock as much as twice the balance that you mined previously. That is when mainnet launches, obviously, transactions will be able to go through. Like you'll be able to buy more pie to your already increasing amount. And then you can now add that to your what's it called? You can now add that amount to your already locked up pie. That is what the 200. Although that this part is still shrouded, it's not yet. There are some things that are not yet clear about it though. But that's actually what's the whole idea behind this. And also, this is already obvious, but the more you put, the more pie you're locking up, the more your percentage. And if you're not putting the exact same amount, your percentage will be lower. That's the same. It's kind of the same thing. So that's basically what it's about. It's really exciting. Pi is actually doing great things. A lot of people do not know this, but majority of the pie in the world is held by the Asian market. And the Asians, if you're in cryptocurrencies, the Asian markets really know how to pump a cryptocurrency. Pi actually stands. This is just me spitballing, but Pi actually has the chance to accomplish what Bitcoin did not do. Instead of being a digital gold, it's actually used for services, goods, and like for the everyday goods and services. Don't be surprised if you see someone selling a PS5 for 200 pi, because if pi is even equals to $5, I'm just saying it. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be though. That is a lot of money, and the value of cryptocurrencies increase over time. The network is actually really big and it's doing great and wonderful things. Actually, really great and wonderful things. So I'm glad that all of you are here to see what's up, so you understand what. If you don't understand, I'm still here to answer your questions. But you understand what is going on, what your unverified balance means, what your transferable balance mainnet means, what your wallet balance means. Yeah, see, this same thing just shows you after mainnet launch, your transferable balance will be transferred to your mainnet wallet. Remember, I would also advise you all to go and get the pi wallet. Okay, get your pi wallet. And but also I've heard that it's going to be non-custodial. That is, it's not going to be in your control. Look at it like you putting your money in Binance, kind of your Binance wallet, where it's not, you don't actually have the 12 key phrases. It's kind of the same thing. But also go and get your pi wallet. This is mine here. I don't know why it's not, network is bad. Get your pi wallet, get it now before, and keep your keys safe, so that when they release the custodial, oh, actually, sorry, non-custodial. I'm sorry. Non-custodial means it is not under their control. So it's going to be able to be stored in your Pi wallet. Okay. Non-custodial means stored in your Pi wallet. So that's where your Pi is going to be, in your wallet. So can't get like can't get your Pi. This is even the new one. So I have like 4 different ones. You can always create. You can always create a new one. Like you can see, this is my test Pi. You can always create a new one. And but note that just like how you handle your trust wallet, whenever you whenever you throw your wallet away, your money has gone as well. So be careful with your wallet. And that's it for today's class. Please, if you have any question at all.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Odesayo. Thank you for enlightening us. If you have questions, please, you can. It's time to entertain questions. Okay, Mr. Chris, over.
Okay. My my question is um um hi,
We are hearing you, sir.
oh, shit. It will skip my mind. Oh, shit.
This other person wants to speak. When you remember your question, you can come back. Okay, someone else can ask a question now.
Okay, sorry, I have three questions to ask. The first one is I've been trying to verify my phone number since, but I'm not be able to verify it. I don't know, is it going to affect like me after the mainnet? Will I be able to transfer and everything? Then the second question is that after the this thing, the lockup, is it a must to do it, or is it advisable we should do it? And for you said we should do it for like 1 year. I actually came late, so I didn't really get a lot of information concerning the lockup. Maybe if you could just, even if you just to summarize it, and whether it's advisable for us to start locking up now. Because I heard the locking up is more like staking or something like, I don't know if I'm right or not. Then the third one, I don't know. Your own this thing, I saw that you're yellow. Like your untransferable like pie is more than your the purple one. Why my own is kind of longer though, because I didn't really refer people like that. And I think from what you said, it's only one person that needs to KYC like very well for me to be able to get the remaining one. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, you can answer the
First of
question.
all, thank you for that question. That is really, I really like those questions. Okay, first of all, we here in Nigeria, verifying our phone number has always been a difficulty. So what they did a couple of months ago was that you just verify, they will just ask you for your legal name and name. They would ask you for your legal name, like on your ID card, your name, your legal name, I think with your address as well. And your legal name and your legal name, I think with your address as well. And that is what you would use. That is what is very important. Your number right now is not very important for your KYC. Like, probably if you can't verify with your number, that's no problem. I think at first, what I even used to verify mine was my Facebook account. When I started, it was my Facebook account I used. Yeah. So if you can't verify with your phone number, that's not a problem. It's not going to affect it. What is really going to, I don't know, we don't know exactly how the KYC is going to be held. It can be through your national ID card, it could be through BVN. I don't know whatever method they will use, but it's not going to just be your phone number. And even if it's going to be your phone number, they will now make it open to all other countries. Like at first, it was just Canada, I think Asia, some Asian countries, and USA that were able to use their phone numbers and verify. But for almost every other country, it was your Facebook accounts that you needed. So if you have not verified using your phone number, don't worry about it. When KYC comes, they'll tell you all the materials you need, and that is what you need to use and pass your KYC. Now, for a second question, you asked, is it advisable to lock up? Okay. Now, it is like if you were here, I'd say that it is locking up is a win-win situation for all of you. And I advise that it's best you don't lock up the whole 100%. You lock up a percentage and leave some to test run the system, like check it out, check what it's all about, find out how you can like try sending the pie and see how everything, get yourself acquainted with the system. And lockup is not staking, by the way. I said it's not staking because unlike staking, your your staking has you're putting it into a smart contract. This is not the same thing. You're not staking it using a smart contract. You're not paying a transaction fee for it and all that. Staking is a much more advanced level. Lockup is just like you putting your money and just like they'll just, so that the main reason for this I told you is to limit sellers when the main net launches, so that everybody will not go and sell off and drop the price. Let's say, for example, Pi launches at $0.1, and then that day it's also 0.000001. That's not going to be really nice. So the idea was to curtail. That's a way to stop the way to stop sellers in the market and keep the price at a fairly stable way. This way, the market is not going to be so volatile. Like for example, this is why I said Pi actually is a very good project. Let me explain something. Now, when there's not so much volume in the market of a particular currency, even if Bitcoin wants to reach $10,000 today, the price of that currency will not really drop based on the amount of people that will be able to sell and buy. If anything said, if Bitcoin is dropping, Pi can actually be a wager against Bitcoin's for drastic movement in price. Like when Bitcoin is steadily dropping or steadily rising, Pi will be on a steady increase, unlike it does up and down movement. That is the benefit of this lockup. What you're doing to the economy. I'm trying to explain what you're doing to the economy. You're enabling the system to be a much more stable, much more reasonable system where if you invest your money, you won't be afraid that thing will turn to zero the next day. It's going to continue rising at a steady method. So that's the benefit of staking. And I advise you not to say, stake all your pie because of the so that you'll be able to interact with the system and get some, especially personally I want to get a lot of NFTs. Now the third question you asked, that your unverifiable balance and your verifiable balance were of different proportions. That is okay. Now I told you this is why for like when I started Pi and I understood that that's what we were going to do, I actually stopped giving my referrals out to people. If you check, I don't have up to 50 people in my referral circle because I understood that maybe a lot of these people will not be able to verify their accounts, and that might limit me at a point. If you for those of you that are in LMBTC Academy, a while ago, myself and Boss Emmanuel Jackson had started talking about how this would be. Besides saying that it's best you not give your referral link all to everybody so that you don't get a high number of unverified people on your network. It's not going to You'll not be able to transfer all of that one. Like yours is even a much better case. Like if your unverifiable balance is less than your verifiable balance, your that means you have more than half of your pie. That means you have more than 80% of your pie ready to be transferred to the main net. That is even a much better way. That means all you need to do is just once you pass your KYC, you've collected the bulk of your pie. And when that's your referral, your referral now verifies that as well, you're going to get 100% of your pie really fast, faster than people that have more than 20 referrals. Let's say, for example, I might stand a higher chance losing my pie because some people on my circle have not verified KYC on like yours will be less than your loss rate will be less than mine because you only have two people in your circle and yourself and the person you referred, and that means you have the majority of your pie held by yourself. So once that person refers, you're getting the 100%. But once I will have to make for me, I would have to make sure go from person to person. Please go and verify your own. Oh, I beg. Oh, my money there, your hand. Oh, all those kind of stuff. So now you don't have to deal with all those kind of stress. So it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing for you. That means once you pass your KYC, you already have the bulk of your pie and you get to do what you want to do with it. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, thank you. So I have one more question. Maybe we're not be able to verify because I think recently it's hard to verify, like to do your KYC with NIN slip, and most of us it's just NIN slip we have. Like I don't have voters card, I don't have driver's license, neither do I have international passport. So maybe I'm just like, for example, in that case where you can't verify because you're using paper slip instead of the ID card, does it mean that it will be taken away from us, or it should just be there till whenever we verify?
Okay. First of all, if you're for this is for everybody that is here listening to me, at LMBTC Academy, we can help turn your paper slip into a card form. At LMBTC Academy can help turn your paper slip into a card form. We'll show you how and what you need to do. It's actually very easy. I turned my own paper slip to the card form and I've been able to do my KYC verifications for other exchanges I've wanted to do it on, and they accept it. And also for that on that case too, we don't know exactly what they are going to ask for, although it's very likely it's going to be your ID card, obviously. But I don't know exactly what are the parameters they would use. I don't know. Obviously, it could be your ID card and stuff like that, but I don't know how if they would accept name. I don't know yet. It's when KYC comes out and I see exactly how it would be. And also, if if you do not, um, if you do not sorry, excuse me. Also, if you do not do this, if you do not verify your account, it will just be there waiting for you to when you're ready to verify. And then once you verify and your KYC, your account will be there. It's not going to disappear, it's not going to dissolve into nothingness. Your time is not going to waste. It's just going to be there, but you'll not be able to move it onto your KYC. Just that.
Okay,
I
thank
hope
you
I
very much. You answered my question. I really appreciate it.
no problem. So any other
Okay,
question?
I have a question. Who else has a question? The ladies that have been asking questions. So the guys, how far?
Hello. Hello. Good evening.
Okay.
Good
Evening,
evening.
Mr. Chris, you are back.
My question is, my question is, can we save now? Can we start to save now, or when it launches, that's when we start to save, or can we start to save now?
Okay, I'm expect I by save you mean lock up, right?
Yeah, lock up. Yeah, lock up. Sorry.
Okay,
Can we
yeah.
start
The lock
up
up.
now, or maybe we should wait see when it launches officially? Maybe like the way you said, when it launches. So is it then I will lock up, or can we start lock up now?
Okay, what you can do now is just configure the amount. Like it can only configure how much you want to lock up. That's all you can do. The lockup process does not start until mainnet launches. All you do now is just configure the amount you want to put. Like, is it 90% you want to lock up? Is it 50% you want to lock up? Is it 100% you want to lock up? Or is it 25% you want to lock up? And for how long? That's all you can do right now. You can only configure, and that's why I said it's good you can set in how much you want to configure. And then when mainnet launches, it will now be more detailed. Like you see the exact amount you're going to be able to lock up, and the exact time you're going to be able to lock up. So right now, all you can do is just configure. But when mainnet launches, you'll be able to actually lock up, and it will start counting for you. But right now, you cannot lock up. If you lock up, you're not you can't even lock up right now, Seth.
Okay, I get you. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
Any other question? Any question at
I think
all?
so many people. Okay, I think someone wants to talk.
My own is not like a
Yeah,
question.
okay.
I just wanted to ask to what this say or this I have been saying when he was talking about the fact that it's not advisable you lock up your 100%. If you have been following Pi Network for a while now, I think there have been an update. I think late last year, early this year. They're talking about the Pi apps, the app they're trying to develop. And part of the app they want to develop are utility apps. So for many of us that have businesses and you want to be selling your businesses, getting material from overs, importing and all those stuff, I think if you lock up your 100%, you'll be able to do that. So for me, for instance, now I've set my lockup yesterday. I'm looking at between 50 and 90%. Though they have 90%, they have 50. I'm looking at we are having at a kind of mid, let's like 75%. So I can use to use other pies to do other transaction. Say for instance, selling and buying stuff, doing things. But if you lock up your 100%, don't be able to do that unless you have to pay money to buy your pie before you can do those services. Just to complete what other side have been saying since.
Thank you very much, Chief, for that contribution. Yeah, what he said is very true. There are a lot of you. The
Okay.
truth is, that's why I'm
What about
advising not to lock up all your pie, because it's you miss out on a lot of brand new things, features that will come out. And the truth is, let's say, for example, let's look at what happened with the this NFT. What's the name of this NFT that's worth over $1.5 million? What's the name? Um, what's the name of
The
this
crypto
guy's?
pumps.
Yeah, exactly. CryptoPunks. Now we're going to have some, because it's going to be the first NFT of the platform. And imagine when you lock up 100% and you see it probably at 5 pi, 20 pi, 50 pi, and you just have a couple of pies lying around. You can just get it, and then you come back in a couple of years and you see it's worth $20,000, $200,000. You, if you lock up 100% of your pie, you'll not be able to you'll not be able to interact with all those systems. Aside from you actually benefiting from it, it is good you understand what you're putting your hand into. That's why I advise not to lock up 100%. You get to test a lot of things. Probably you see somebody selling a nice shirt on the road, because there's going to be a marketplace where people are going to be able to transact goods and services, actual real goods and services. You see a shirt you like on the marketplace, you put an order for it, you pay for it in Pi, and you see it here in Nigeria. But you will not be able to do all that if you use all your Pi. So it's advisable and very advisable you do not lock up 100%. So
Okay,
thank you
another
very much for that
question or any
contribution.
yeah, thank you, Samson. Do anybody else have a question or do you understand
Yes, I have a
what is it?
question.
All right, there you
How do
go.
we
Shoot.
create a Pi wallet?
Pi wallets can be downloaded on the Play Store. Let me show you the link. I think at the point it was even available. I think I even get it through the app, but let me look for it on Play Store first for you. You can get it through the app. Wait, let me just check on Play Store first. Okay. Sorry, excuse me. Pi wallets. Okay, yeah, I think it's on Play Store. Let me just show you guys. I hope you all can see my screen. Yeah, okay, this is it, the Pi browser. Look at it here. This is the Pi wallet. You can see it's already installed in mine. You can get it here on Play Store. Pi browser. It has the wallet as well. The Pi browser is kind of the D app section of your Trust Wallet and other exchanges. You can also get it, like I said, I think you can get it on this thing. Okay.
Can I ask?
Yeah, okay, look at it here. Pi browser also. I think you can get it through here. Pi browser and stuff like that. So I hope I've answered your question.
Jackson, can I ask something?
Sorry?
I wanted to ask something on the question she asked.
Okay.
For your Pi wallet, I think it's advisable you get the Pi browser, not Pi wallet,
Yeah,
because
in
as
the
a
the Pi browser is the Pi wallet is in the Pi browser, so they are not separate.
yes,
It's not
that
separate.
one I want hard to get because if you check your Play Store, there's some app that are not that develop Pi wallet. You may actually see Pi wallets on your Play Store, but they are not the authentic wallets. So if you are using such a wallet, they might actually steal your Pi. So it's better you get your Pi browser. Embedded in the Pi browser, you can get your Pi wallet.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Or you can
Thank
also yeah, you can also get it from the Pi main app. It's best you just get it through here to sign you up directly and can download it. So it's best to get it through the app itself.
Sorry, what is the Pi wallet meant for? The Pi wallet. What are we using it for?
The Pi wallet is where you will store the Pi you have earned. Like the transferable Pi is going to be stored in your Pi wallet. Okay. The Pi you get from using, like, for example, if for example MBTC Academy wants to send start say I would we might okay, let's say MBTC Academy wants to put his courses on Pi network where to teach people how to trade Bitcoin, trade cryptocurrencies, understand the cryptocurrency market, and we put like a course on Pi network, and somebody wants to buy the courses, and the person pays in Pi. The Pi will now be sent. You can now withdraw the Pi from where the Pi will now be sent directly to your Pi wallet. So that's what your Pi wallet is for. It's meant to hold your real Pi. But right now, the only Pi now is test Pi. That's the only thing that is there. Like I showed you my own. It's only test Pi that is available right now that you can send to your a friend, or you could just do some tests with it. It's really easy. So I hope I answered the question.
Any other question?
you.
Call it
Thank
a day.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. I think we'll get into 1 hour. And I believe it was a class filled with value. We have learned a thing or two. So do you have any other question? Any other question? Okay, I think there's no question. So Mr. Camwell, thank you very much for telling us about how we can get our share of Pi when it's on, when the mainnet is actually launched finally. It's in a couple of weeks. So we're hoping in a couple of weeks we'll be able to start playing with the Pi network and interface very well. And okay, can you just give us a summary so that I can wrap it up?
Okay, thank you, sir. So summary is the mainnet is launching in a couple of days, as it's even said on the app itself. I believe I'll speak with my boss and see if we would also have another class, or not necessarily a class. We might just upload a video on what to do, like show everybody that does not understand a simple video on how to handle the lockups and transferable and KYC, because the KYC will also be in a couple of weeks. So like I said, number one, do not lock up the whole 100%. You can configure how much you want to lock up, because once you do your KYC, it will just automatically set. And also try and get the people in your security circle to verify their KYC so that you can get the bulk of your Pi. So that's just it on the Pi side of things right now. And that's it. It's a really beautiful
Thank
ecosystem, and I hope we
yes.
all benefit greatly from it.
Thank you all. Thank you. I think we call it a day. It was a good one. So, like you have said, what you should be doing now is before the mainnet will be launched in the next few days, go and disturb all those that you referred so they can actually get their KYC, their
Thank
account verified, so you can get your buy. Like, Teresa, did you want to say anything? Okay, so I think we call it a day. Goodbye or good night and
Good night,
a happy
everybody.
new week.
God bless.
you.
God bless.
Not